Can you imagine a human body becoming so massive that it requires 13 nurses just to move it on a hospital bed? Or a person so tall that walking down the street felt like a two-story building was on the move? Today, we take you on a journey through the lives of people whose bodies defied the laws of nature. From a man imprisoned within his own 590 kilograms frame to a gentle giant who reached nearly 9 feet tall. Prepare to see the human body as you've never seen it before. In our daily lives, we see people around us who are almost identical in height, weight and appearance. But have you ever thought about the extent to which the human body can expand? How long can it be? Or how much terrifying power can be hidden in it? In today's video, we will take you on a journey of such stories where nature has played games with the human body that are impossible to accept for common sense. So pack your chairs because today you are going to meet a few such people in the world that you will not be able to believe your eyes when you see them. So friends, let's talk about Brower Minnoch first. Jon was not an ordinary fat man. In fact, his body had become such a mountain of water and fat that it was not in his control to handle it. His condition was not due to overeating, but due to a very complicated disease in which his body was beginning to accumulate a lot of water. His weight was so heavy that when he had to be taken to the hospital, he needed dozens of people to pick him up, and 13 nurses had to work together on the hospital bed to get him moving. Now just think about this man's helplessness, whose own body has become a prison for him. But despite all this, love was present in Jon's life. His wife's weight was only 50 kilos, but their relationship was enough to tell the world that love does not happen by looking at the size of the body. Unfortunately, this heavy body of Jon had put so much burden on his heart and lungs that he passed away at the age of just 42. Friends, if we talk about another person after Jon Brower, whose bed had become his whole world, then he was Manuel Uribe. Manuel belonged to Mexico, and his weight had also exceeded 590 kilograms. There is a strange sadness and lesson in Manuel's story. He could not move an inch from his bed for many years. He ate on the bed, slept there and woke up there. His world was limited to the four walls of his room. But Manuel did not lose hope. Instead of hiding his condition in front of the world, he came to the TV and asked for help. He started dieting and surprisingly lost half his weight. There was also a day in his life when he married lying on the same bed. His bed was put on a truck and taken to the wedding ceremony. Manuel was smiling, his eyes were shining, but his body was tired from the inside. And finally, his heart answered and he passed away. His story tells us that no matter how strong a person's will is, sometimes the physical limits defeat you. Friends, there is another story of Paul Mason, whose weight had reached 440 kilograms. Paul's story is a little different from the other two, because his condition was more of a mental shock than a disease. To forget the sorrows of life, Paul took the support of food. And he could not even imagine when this support became a deadly addiction. He just kept eating, day and night. When it came to his life, the doctors operated on him, after which he lost a lot of weight. But after losing weight, another difficulty came into his life. His skin was so tangled that it became a new torment for him. Paul's life teaches us that the decision a person makes directly affects his body. And sometimes, this effect also becomes a lifelong disease. Friends, where some people's bodies increased in width and weight to the limit, while nature led some people on a different path. And their bodies started moving towards the sky, so that ordinary people started bowing in front of them. Whenever the world's tallest person is mentioned, Robert Wadlow is the first to be mentioned. Robert was 8 feet 11 inches tall. When he walked, it felt like a two-story building had come to the road. This extraordinary height of Robert was due to a problem of the pituitary gland in his brain, which was creating a continuous growth hormone. Robert wanted to play and jump like ordinary children as a child, but his body was growing so fast that his bones became weak. His clothes, his shoes, even his bed had to be specially made. Robert was a very soft-hearted person, whom people lovingly called soft-hearted God. But this length of his body became the reason for his death. There was a blood clot in his legs, and he had to wear iron braces to walk. One day, due to these braces, he had a small wound in his foot, which he did not even realize. The infection spread in that wound, and this tallest man in the world died at the age of 22. Robert's life is such a mystery, where a person becomes a victim of the rapid growth of his own body. Friends, if we want to see a person in today's era who is close to Robert Wadlow, then he is the Sultan of Turkey. The Sultan is 8 feet 2 inches tall, and he is the tallest living person in the world at the moment. The Sultan also had the same disease as Robert, but the Sultan was lucky that modern medical science saved his life. Doctors treated that part of his brain with gamma knife surgery, which was increasing his height, and thus his height stopped increasing. The Sultan's life is not easy either. For him, sitting in an ordinary car, passing through an ordinary door, or looking for clothes of his size is a daily test. But despite this difficult life, the Sultan has learned to be happy. He got married, set up his house, and today he shows people all over the world that no matter how tall a person is, his heart is like an ordinary human being. Dear friends, along with these men, we cannot forget Yavu Defen, who was the tallest woman in the world. Yavu, who belonged to China, was 7 feet 8 inches tall. Her story is probably the most heartbreaking. Yavu was born in a poor family, and she did not have money to treat her illness. Her weakness and helplessness were taken advantage of, and she was forced to work in a circus so that she could earn a living for herself and her family. Just imagine the woman whose body is hollow from the inside due to an illness, who has a severe pain in walking, but she is standing in the circus just to be alive and being a means of entertainment for people. Yavu's death was also in a very painful way, which forced the world to think that we are surprised to see strange and poor people, but we never feel the pain inside them. So friends, next time, when you stand in front of a mirror and look at your ordinary body, then you must thank nature. Once. Because today you have learned that what we think is normal, in fact, being normal is the biggest blessing in the world. I hope that this video today has forced you to think a lot about the secrets of the human body and the stories hidden behind them. If you like this video, then do share it with your friends and tell us in the comments which person's story has impressed you the most. Inshallah, see you in the next interesting video. Till then, take good care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.